Some people say music na life. Some people they say movie na life. Some people they say chop na life. Some people they say water na life. For some people like we, football, or as they call it for America, soccer, don't always be na that thing we want do we dey do na only we want do we do passionately. Whether when we dey play, whether when we dey talk about them, whether when we dey analyze them. If you see us do it, we do it with every bit, every passion we'll get inside we. It's actually not only a game for us anymore. It's more for lifestyle. It's more like culture. It's difficult for us to see us do certain things without a sprinkle of football or soccer, as they call it for America, in there. That was how we decided. You know what? We need to get together from time to time and have these conversations about soccer. We need to get together from time to time and talk about football and talk about soccer. And which better way for do rather than forget some person we get deep knowledge. We get deep knowledge about football, or we be passionate about. We don't dey follow football for a long time, so he know a lot from experience only. Which person for bring her on board, rather than person we say whatever information we dey give you, it's probably like 99.9% authentic or true. In which person will bring them, if no be person we, even if he talks something today and then later on he realize, okay, which have a talk no be actually be sincere or maybe be okay, he go come back for car address and say, hey, you wanna know what the two will be talking, so no maybe so he did, so he did. I think say the best person if you bring them for consult to, when it comes to football or soccer, na person who will know say he go tell we say this thing now so he did now, and when he did the other way as seen. If he tell we today say this coach may be good coach, when the coach develop his skills and start doing good, he go still tell we again say no, that coach don't be like. What I'm talking about is somebody who is honest. So much respect for him. A platform, now one of the platforms the way I'd always go to when soccer conversations they exist, whether I concern teams, whether I concern individual players and all of that. I always like for get the analysis. I always like to read wait you don't talk or write about them. I'll bring it in, will not take long for bringing in, because on a member say every weekend, at least every weekend we go to do this segment. We for just talk about things that for community. Boss, I bring you away one drink our water more the clap. Drink our water while
Yeah,
the clap.
yeah, yeah. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I always get my natural juice, right? Where I make them,
Okay.
and I encourage everybody. We are getting old and all that, and this
Yeah.
juice, I press it myself. It's all natural and it's good, man. So that's what I drink.
What is happening?
I can hear you, but I can hear you though.
You hear me right?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, more jump into this. So for those who did watch today, the segment it be very very special, because on all know it happen for football milieu, for PE. And like I talk, who else for talk about this thing, may break and down for we and all of that, but my boss, True Lion. First of all, welcome today. My start, before I'm going to this thing, I don't think so need for the waste time.
Exactly,
Do
exactly.
we-
No more introductions because we have done so many introductions. So we can just dive into it. I'm ready for you whenever you're ready.
when you hear that news, wait be the first thing become your mind, the news of the nomination of the football, the new coach.
Yeah, Mark Brace. When I got information about Mark Brace being appointed the new coach of the Cameroon national team, what I first did is because I don't know him, so I
Mm-hmm.
went. I started digging. I
Mm-hmm.
went to Google. I went to he has a profile on LinkedIn. So I even
Mm-hmm.
went on LinkedIn and even like try to read about him. Then I did some research, and I started discovering who he actually was, like who he
Mm-hmm.
actually is, and the players he
Mm-hmm.
has coached. And then I know he's been coaching since 20 years ago. So I just started digging information about the guy.
So what interests you about you?
To be honest, apart from I hear some people saying that He's a disciplinarian. He's a good tactician. Musa Dembele, a player that I actually loved watching when he was at Tottenham Spurs. All these Belgian, because he's Belgian, right? So a lot of these young players came through his came through. He had coached them at some point of his career. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, nothing really fancy. But then I also went and checked like the previous coaches that have come through Cameroon. Most of them are unknown. Coming to Cameroon, most of them are unknown. Then they make their name with Cameroon. So it's not surprising, anyways.
So for you, do you think that is how it's supposed to continue? Because from back in the days when, like you talk, the coaches they never get history, but then they come through we and then they make a name for themselves and then they become probably really popular. Do you think that is the route we should continue? Select coach randomly and then somehow they make name for themselves and then, or it is high time we start going for people who know say they will actually bring with result. I know we don't get one person when Paul Gwen, but I think say for the list of people who don't work with, I don't think say besides Paul Ugo, don't really get some other person. But so my question is, do you think we should we get for start be intentional, go for coaches who know say they get result, family will see say if we pay them, and then expect me to give you result, or more make tumbu tumbu and then see what will happen.
Well, maybe us the fans, we are looking at something that they are not putting so much thought into it, right? But you
Mm-hmm.
call the name of Paul Owen. Paul Owen did not have an impressive record even coming to Cameroon. It's just that he was a player that was well known. He played for Paris Saint Germain. He was a good
Mm-hmm.
midfielder. We knew Paul Owen, and that's why we could relate to him. But again,
Mm-hmm.
if you go through even Nepunachi, 1990, it was a coach that was given to us by the Soviet, and we were not actually paying for Nepomniachtchi because Russia actually gave Nepomniachtchi as an exchange, exchange program that they had. So again, I will say this: it's not about. Sometimes it's not about big names. It's just about us working together and looking into one direction because that's what disturbs me the most. This fight,
Mm-hmm.
Faker Foot and the government is having. That's what
Mm-hmm.
disturbs me the most because
Mm-hmm.
because even if you bring a very good coach and there's this fighting going, you
Yeah.
cannot play football. Football cannot be successful in such an environment.
For the people where they probably don't know, I beg you explain the way to be the fight where they go on now. So.
Yes, basically, Faker Foot is actually arguing that they were not consulted
Mm-hmm.
in the process of naming a new coach,
Mm-hmm.
which by when you see some of the documents that are out there, you see that the process, and even on Franz Venkat, Ito gave an interview, he talked about the process. And the reason I quote Ito is because he's the main guy at Africa Food. And when he gives an interview, I listen to him critically to listen to what he's talking about. So the
Mm-hmm.
process is that Africa Food comes up with three names. They send it to Etude. Etude revises those names, and you can go be back and forth. And
Mm-hmm.
then they pick a coach, let's say from the names that was sent to them by Africa Food.
Right. Careful.
Yes, then they send that information to the minister because the minister represents them, and then
Mm-hmm.
the minister will then publish, the name or the name of the new coach. But that did not happen, and that's why Samuel Eto'o and Fakers Foot are not happy about it.
Um. Okay, that did not happen. Miss you actually which you travel telling and say you to feel like it was not respected the same way Faker food claim, right?
Yeah, of course, it was not respected. It's obvious, right? Because the minister also came and responded to what Samuel Eto'o said, and the minister
Mm-hmm.
said that gave an excuse that the coaches were expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So, but yes, if the coaches are expensive, there should be some back and forth, right? So if I
Yeah.
send you names and the coaches are expensive, I should give you
Mm-hmm.
either a budget, you know.
Yeah.
So for me, that's just a lame excuse by the minister that the coaches were
Yeah.
expensive. They actually
Mm-hmm.
despised Faker Food and nominated, a coach, which for me that's not a good working environment.
And they don't. It seems like they don't already go ahead and engage these guys, but then Faker food they talk now say we were not part of like. What do you think can be the way forward at this point in time?
The way forward can only be dialogue because you must not like somebody to be able to work and be productive with that person. But
Yeah.
you have to be professional enough. You have to have dialogue. And I'm not only blaming Fekafoot here, I mean the government here, because I
Yeah.
remember 2 weeks ago, Ito came and said he had a poor working relationship with with the minister. So why
Mm-hmm.
would you go on an international, on a French network,
Mm-hmm.
and you start describing the working relationship you have with your boss? For me, first of all, I did not like that he gave that interview to Franz Venkat, because
Mm-hmm.
that, for me, that was not the right media to give such an interview. And
Mm-hmm.
then he said that he had a good working relationship with Ngongo.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, some people might not know, or some people don't know about the process. But the nomination is coming from Etudi, and that's Ngongo. So
Mm-hmm.
somehow Eto even doesn't know that Ngongo is the one maybe actually fighting against him. Yet he said he has a good relationship with Ngongo.
Yeah, if it still be that way, but like I talk, like me and you already talk. Maybe, by the way, for all those who are watching, don't forget to share, don't forget to comment. When I get any question, when I want to ask, especially on the topic code day right now, where now the back and forth where they go on between ministry and Fika food. We'll get for discuss these things, because not only by discussing these things we will come out with solution. You never know who is watching. You never know who go watch. Well, if you take an idea from here, my brother don't talk a lot of things. Um on Toridey, even out of Toridey, we especially out of Toridey for a page, a personal page, we after later on, I see Fika Food apply some of these things, and I'm like, oh, they like that they watch that my video them. If it been a coincidence, but if it still be say that they watch them, and I believe saying now one of the persons the way we community together will pay attention to when it comes to sports, when it comes to football, when it comes to that beautiful game when we all love them. Not nothing. So no fine pass for we forget persons away. They really love this game. They be passionate. They want to see we community grow, and they go in for do their proper research and put that information if he help we grow as a community. Um, might check if any person don't drop any comment, but please, if you get any comments, by the way, I want to know sorry any person will watch the watch from. I want to know sorry the watch. Just comment sorry the watch from. So if you see you, will know say you the watch. If you appreciate you, if you thank you, and if you get 1 second for share, share. Also, if you never like the page, if you need to follow the page, if you do that now, because as you watch the video, some pleasure there for corner they say like or share. Always remember for like and share. My brother Elvis is watching from Columbus, Ohio. Elvis, if you get any question where you are ask him about this palava, Fika Food and Ministry and new coach, I beg tell we. I beg you, put our comment section. My brother will answer and answer. And any person you watch, I beg tell we so you watch from boss.
Yes, sir.
Um, like I talk or like we see they don't already probably engage these people the way they talk to the now our new staff. Now I think there was an agreement between Fika Food and the ministry for 2015 where even the minister cite them for he excuses the way he put her out. And if we go by that petition, so certain limit the way Fika Food ministry get them. And even for the positions the way not then get for appoint them at it be limit. But then we realize this minister guy he go above and beyond for just take everything by hand. Now the reason why I even feel like even Gongo was probably manipulated along the line. Maybe the Jogo 10 Gongo say, you know what, we don't discuss with Ito, blah blah blah. This is what we'll go with, and they sign and seal and stamp them and then they move on. But my question for you now, if you look at him actually talking about that 2015 decree, that 2015 how we call them agreement between Fika Food and ministry, and then he go for not even respect some of the terms of that agreement. Where do you think the minister be up to?
Well, I know if it speculate what he be up to, but one
Mm-hmm.
thing I want to stress on is the working environment, because our
Mm-hmm.
main goal is to have a successful national team, right?
Yeah.
So we have to actually respect each other. You
Order.
know, when I say we, I need to talk about me and you. I need to talk about they who actually are in leadership. I talk about minister. I talk about Fika Food,
Yeah.
because I mean, no matter what they are doing, is for the better running of our football. Tomorrow they will not be there. This life is not everlasting. So it's
Mm-hmm.
their legacy they are actually playing with. But again, as we know how things go in Cameroon, people are not looking to what they let their ego, because it's something about ego. They let that get into the way.
Yeah.
Because truth to be told, yes, Samuel Eto'o is the boss of football in Cameroon. He was elected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very, very popular guy. But guess
Yeah.
what? Fikafu doesn't have the money. They need money from the government in order to pay these coaches. So
Mm-hmm.
it's to the best of their interest, even Samuel Eto'o, to look for a way, for a working a way to work this out with the ministry, because fighting would help nobody but hurt the progress of the national team.
At this point in time, who should go to who? Etofi is going to the minister, or the minister should just be like, no, let me go to him and try to see how we can fix this thing.
Yeah, I think today the executive committee of Fika Food held a meeting, and I'm not sure about what they decided, but I saw some comments that they gave Samuel Eto'o 72 hours to name his own team. Just think about that, bro. Just think about that. That's the solution they came up with. Instead of saying that they should look for dialogue. I know maybe, but first of all, try to come as if you're looking for dialogue. Then I know maybe the minister, big egos, they are right on top of there. He's gonna turn it down. Then that's when you decide to go. But you don't go for a fist fight with people like that. I've been talking about Iya Mohammed. A lot of people don't understand. That's one of the reasons that triggered Iya Mohammed to be sent to be locked up. Although Cotton Sport was used, but he had a massive fight with the government, and that's one of the reasons why Iya Mohammed actually was in bad terms with the government.
Wow. So you the suggest say fake food na misstep already. For me, I still feel also say the misstep start now from the place of the minister. Because if a Tofis write the letter, I must say fake food write the letter, they write and send them for you, say they know they okay with that decision and whatever. Guess what? The first thing you should do is invite them to the table. You understand? Invite them to the table, like say, okay, you know what? When I know they're okay with that, can we sit and talk about how we can fix this together and then move forward, rather than you also just write now, like you call them a letter where they show you want just make excuses about you. You talk about the president, I think of 13th February speech or something where he say you don't address that situation, and you don't bro, we all know that man is like 90 something years old. We're not even sure say as you talk, maybe na some Monday we do whatever thing where they do. However, we'll try to make small progress. Like I talk, make any person where you watch. We want read comments. We want what address, I want me my brother, my boss address on our comments. Now the person that way he invest a lot. He do he research a lot. He get information, the inside information, backstage information them about this to happen. So now the best person for address our questions and for he me I asking the questions the way it come from my head. But the Oben, thank you very much for watching. El Mashirano. Cameroon national team get a long way to go before it gets stability. Boss, we had a segment the other day, and you came on the segment and you said something where even me were play ball for Cameroon and maybe don't really pay attention to. You talked about the difference between the national team and football for country. I don't start echo. I don't know what you do, and you just come up with do it now.
You the echo?
Yes.
No, I know the echo. You did fine. I hear you fine.
But they let me hear myself. Okay, now it is okay. So you point out the difference between national team football, who get for manager, and the championship will get them for country, who actually get for manager. I want me to throw more light on that issue.
Yeah, basically, in most the way football is set up in most countries or respected leagues, they have a
Mm-hmm.
body which is more like administrators, right? Like business people. They know
Yeah.
the business of football, and they are the ones who go out looking for most of these like partnerships when they
Mm-hmm.
actually run the leagues. No, I'm sorry. No, the FA actually looks for partnership, but they
Mm-hmm.
are in the day-to-day running of the league. The teams, the refs, and all that, because the FA does not have to directly, although that body, right? That body, like in the EPL, you have the FA and the EPL. That body
Mm-hmm.
that runs the league is under the FA, but their own job is to run the day-to-day activities of the league
Mm-hmm.
directly. So there's no conflict of interest.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So the
Yeah.
area is more like they bring in the business, then you have these people who actually are in charge of the refs, in charge of the fields and everything, schedules. They actually run today, so there should be no conflict of interest. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the body. Yes, we talked about Semenge. That's where Semenge was, but he was actually, I don't know if Semenge was appointed, but or how he found his way on it.
He was appointed by the president,
Eh,
presidential decree.
which doesn't make sense, right? Which actually
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make sense because he's old. Semenge is actually one of those guys who actually have run the Cameroon football for ages. He was with Tonel Calara Club.
President of Tone, yeah.
Exactly. So he shouldn't be there trying to run again football. They should give young, energetic people who actually know the business of football, so that
Mm-hmm.
there's no that conflict of interest. Because we saw Samuel Eto'o being caught up with refs and all that. It's because of the conflict of interest. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So he should now focus on all other national teams and
Mm-hmm.
how to develop our national teams in the youth, let's say on the whatever, on the 10s, on the 15s, 17s, 21, and he should oversee that and maybe our grassroots football. And he
Wow.
should be working together with the government to grow the grassroots football because you cannot build a business without the help of the government. Such a
Yeah.
business that will benefit the whole majority will be on all regions of Cameroon. And it should be business people. Then you should make it conducive for owners of these football teams or many people to come and invest. So that's the way it should work out.
Wow. So, and now I understand because yesterday when we talked about conflict of interest, I was like, what's that conflict of interest? But I understand and say if a Tory actually manage the league, it means if he actually determine who go top the league and all of that, we not going to be that way. If he decide which team go get which favor and all of that, we not going to be that way. I did talk about when fake food the manage league, but then if they give am for somebody will be professional enough for manage and professionally, it could be like transparent and a smooth thing. So by which you just come over talk now, it means that technically ministry actually really want put in neck for Fekavuti activity because he decide for go now for the sector where now Fekavu really get for manage them directly and they either ignore the sector way. Like if it become for the fight, say, hey, name now you go for manage this thing, maybe for even know. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean there are lots of fights because that environment. Two
Mm-hmm.
years ago, when Eto'o was actually elected coach of, president of FECAFO, I
Mm-hmm.
said this because we had so many fans. Oh, now football is going to change in Cameroon. I said that no, even in 10 years, football will not change in Cameroon because of such things. Because I've been able to follow football for quite a long time since under year and to know what type of fights have happened
Yeah.
in Cameroon. I mean, there are some things when it comes up again, you say, oh, this is the very thing that happened 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So there are many fights. Let's say, for example, Semenge. Semenge
Mm-hmm.
was kicked out of that body that ran
The pro
the league,
league.
the league, and you don't know what friends he has, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it could be his friends now saying that, okay, now we're gonna fight this guy, So there's so much chaos. There are so many fights inside Fikafood and the government that we don't even know what is happening or who is behind these fights. You also had Joya because I heard a rumor that came because Eto'o was going to take. I think there were people that when he left about 6 million US dollars to build the Feka Food office.
Mm-hmm.
When Toby Aroko came in, the enjoyers and all that, that money disappeared in thin air.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was going to follow these people in justice to recuperate some of that money.
Oh
So
Lord.
he must have stepped on the feet
Toes.
of those. Yeah, so that's why I said there is so much chaos. However, yes, normally I told you about the FIFA recognizing that federations in Africa are poor. They don't have
Mm-hmm.
money. So there's some working agreement between the government and the federations
Yeah.
that FIFA also acknowledges. And this
Mm-hmm.
style is only in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
No, not only Africa. Let me not put it that way because it's in many also Asian countries.
Yeah.
So if you sign on to it, and Cameroon went on 2015 and 2004
Just,
to make also that accord.
mm-hmm,
So there's some sort of interference or
mm-hmm,
working agreement, whatever you call it.
mm-hmm.
So there is some sort of interference and working agreement. And if
Yeah.
you watch, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, boss.
And if you watch one of the interviews Eto'o had in Cameroon, I'll share that with you. He also speaks about it. He talks on the working agreement that they have with the government, and that the government is involved in appointment of
Yeah.
local coaches. Yeah.
I think we all that would even pass that place already, because that one be setting that working agreement, it exists and it go always exist. My only thing with the baffle me now na the fact say the minister know about the working agreement and even stipulate am for excuse we give am, but then the other appointments that we make am was not necessary. You know, they part of that working agreement. And then even go out of a place to say, hey, now we give us push for the list as you talk, and then you choose from that list. But then, he not even respect that. Now they don't give list, the people they expensive and all of that. Like you talk, me even being a back and forth thing. You understand? Me being a back and forth thing. Okay, come. When I come with Shido, when I come with talk. Okay, when if you use him, man, what about this person? Can you tell that person to bring down their price and all of that? But you just go ahead, do it to you do. I don't know. I just hope maybe wait to wait you talk like maybe people in the way they dey for background and they push strings them, because they know say if they don't continue remain for day, he go and go after that money and if even know about them, he go and go about people the way they make that money disappear. Because the way some people they fight this whole thing, I know you very well. You be a, I know I say staunch critic of a tool. You be that person you want to see do the best for the community. You want to see win. So you do make sure see any small place where maybe even falter, any small place where you see that in a go there, you dey tell you. But for you for sure, yeah, really say no. I feel like this in this. I'm like, okay, it means this thing is deeper than we even think. Now I think my next question for you go be now. We already there for play all day, and you don't already suggest say make every person come to the table. Fake a foot in a solution plan. We don't put them. We now for say me it to come up with own way to the way you want them and nominate them. I know what I hire them. I don't know me. That one are continuous chaos, because at the end of the day, even if um we finally end say na ito, coaches and everything become the staff for the team, it not change the fact they don't still step on toes. When I tell you it happen when Rigobert's song become, and then when he be the one bring Rigobert's song and the minister be say no more keep Conceição. You decide you force Rigobert's song, and then minister be like I am humiliated, I will find my way, I will know how I will punish you or know how I'll get back at you. We know one other situation. um my question about that, because Nadu one will be our main topic today. We'll talk about other things, but Nadu will be our main topic today. Um, wait till go happen if it will come up now with that staff and then even go ahead for hire them. Because at the end of the day, I feel like Fekafu get an upper hand on that past ministry.
Let me quote you 2006, 2007, Otto Schäfer, a German coach that was
Yeah.
hired by the minister. Ian Mohamed refused to sign. He coached Cameroon. He still coached Cameroon until he resigned in about almost 2 years after that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an instant. I don't know what will happen. I don't really know what will happen. I cannot, because Cameroon is unpredictable. So I don't know what will happen.
So I hope so. I wish we would get text for this. Now, if he had denied for sign, it not change the fact say he go still just accept me Auto Shafa, go ahead and do whatever I want to do. Like, okay, you need this thing, I'll give. You need this thing, I'll give. You need a bit. Forget my endorsement until that I know, be. But if Tofis still decide say, I know go put my endorsement on top, and I'll not give him the access to the national team, which belongs to Cameroonian people, but it should be managed by Fika Food. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, the national team belongs to Cameroon and should be managed by Africa Food. But
Mm-hmm.
let me ask you a question, right? I mean, it's
Yeah,
just a way to of answering your question. Do you think
yeah.
that Eto'o can go without, it will benefit Eto'o and the football of Cameroon for them to go in that type of a fight?
Now, if they get the money, because the only reason why they bring in the ministry now because they not get the money. But if a Tofis knows they get the money and everything, and they decide to go that route, I just ask a question.
Mhm.
If they get the money and everything, when they know say they don't need the ministry, all way to the ministry need them now for them to set up a good system, a team in place and win trophies. Wait to go happen. Now ministry is staff go stand or na it office is staff go stand.
Well, I don't believe. First of all, I don't believe that type of a fight can happen because the national team depends on. You say if they get the money, first of all, they are in debt.
No, now,
They
but
owe-
more guide all that away. More we know say if they get the money.
Yeah, of course. I want to talk because we are. Let's be realistic for the situation we're in inside Cameroon.
Yeah.
What we talk, let's say within say now for America, yeah, we White House don't even care about how you run your football. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But from the jets that they hire for players to travel, that money is coming from the ministry. Lodging, that money is coming from the government. So basically, it's taxpayers' money. That's how they live. That's why on another show, I think I told you that I say until Fika Food starts being independent,
Mm-hmm.
making their own money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then they can have the upper hand of start saying that okay, we are taking control, we are hiring the coaches, and we are paying for them.
Man, this thing is getting more and more complicated. I really try to think how Fika food go work with this because some of the appointment them actually they like a slap to the face. You cannot take somebody who resigned from an administration because probably they were against some ideas or policies of the administration, and then you nominate them, and that people that nomination get will get office in Africa Food Secretariat or something. You go bring back and another thing I really want to talk about that because I think like you be the talk or some other person be the talk for the segment the other day. If you look at the list, most of the people on the list, most of the people the way they don't nominate them back now, people they don't always be there. And then for some reason they got kicked out. Like Oman Big was there. Why they be fire he? Where they bring it now back. Wait, you don't do all these years and with the career, where it change, where it make you be like, wow, we need for rehire you again. And
Exactly.
I want me to throw a little bit of like, what you think on that? The fact that they
Exactly.
bring people back, and me, I dey see am like Nina because they be competent. But now because they want just bring people back where we feel like they na rancune them, now people the way they don't fit day for day and then you fire them. So we bring them, no way, no day if you work with them. They will work for day, but they will work for we.
It's true, right? The point you make makes a lot of sense. But do you think Eto can really question them for hiring people that are not competent? He did the same thing. He did the same thing. People with no CV. I mean, if you look at Eto, the way Eto hired, who was competent?
But at least it was a first time hiring. Like now, first time we they hire these people. These people never get any experience for that national level, like for national team, the A team. You understand? Which my tongue as so person like Francois Oman Big was a wonderful footballer.
Yeah.
He don't be for they be get their failures, they put them for corner. And I don't even think saying that Toby put it for corner. I know because Oman Big no, you know what could consist, right?
He worked with I want to say 2017, he worked with wait, did he work with Conceição? But I know
You
he
know what
worked at a certain point, he
you
was
know what could
assistant.
Conceição, you know, even work with the person you be there before Conceição because if be there now for some other the other coach will be bring my tip then that time. I don't forget his name. I think that German also. Yeah, he be working on them. So I think say even before the one goal that 2017, it did like after that year Mohamed Saga and whatever they were kicked out and a new team was brought in and so you know work with them. But my thing is, he not actually win anything with national team as a coach, as an assistant coach. You know, win anything with them. Now we dey bring it back as wait you don't do these past years where it make we feel
But
that oh he qualify for comeback.
yeah, and it's not really. I'm not even really worried with people like Omambi because I said this right.
Mm-hmm.
Eto is the administrator, he is the president, and all that. You don't really have to work with those coaches all the time. You don't meet them all the time. You don't
Mm-hmm.
meet those coaches all the time. So that's why you should abstain. You abstain yourself from the
Mm-hmm.
training ground, and you let them do their work. You don't meet them all the time. And that's why I usually go back and quote Ia. Do you know when Eto was playing in the national team, he was always in conflict with Ia?
Yeah.
Okay. But they were still working. Ia was not in his face. He was a player. Ia was not in their faces, you know. But I do understand that when you have a coach, it has to be someone that can work together with administration. And I think that's why, because in the thinking of the ministers, right, when they bring a foreigner, they are hardly interfered upon, as opposed with what we saw with Rigobert Song, where there was so much news about he's the one making, the lineups, he's the one calling, then the president is the one calling players. So there was so much interference. So this is their own way of saying that, okay, we're going to bring people that you cannot control so that everything will be in line.
Cameroon, no. Now I had people they play with and so. I mean, when the humiliation one come now, you go for some side. So you have na German, they say, oh God, man, they beat you now. Those small boys beat you.
Yeah, but let me tell you something, right?
Yeah,
This is why I used to use the expression, say they know the fit file for market day. Instead
very
of
true.
the national team looking at the local leagues, grassroots football, because when you build a foundation that is strong, it will in long term benefit, you know. So you're taking all this money and throwing to this expatriate, all these coaches, instead of using that money. And that's why I was not even in favor of the national Nations Cup that was played in Cameroon. I said you should have built little stadium or
Mhm,
pitches around the regions, and that
mhm.
will benefit our football in future. Now you build all these stadiums, nobody's using, and now you're arguing about who should hire the coach and who should not hire the coach. Meanwhile, our football is still not progressing.
With the way that nomination, go by the way, my point out for you, say he talk about when Iya was the president, and Ito was even before Ito become president, before captain, he actually they really go back and forth with Iya. And guess what? If you go back and forth with Iya, if you didn't have a minister side, the same way Onana did for minister side now. So, like my brother talk, the repetition also too, we don't see him. And we know say between 2008 and even 2012, Cameroon had one of the best football team they will ever get them. The only difference between them and 2002, 2004, and 90s, and I say 90s, they were a group of men who wanted to play for their country. They were ready to give everything to win, and they actually do it with them if you do them. For 2000, we had a group of super talented men who were most of them be there for beginning with their career, and they began something for prove them, work together, and they won whatever they won. But for 2008 to like obviously 2012, between 2006 and 2012, we had super talents, more talented than any other generation. Where you look the first 11 for fee, you look the people that for bench, you are like, whoa. But guess what? We did not win anything. The most we
Yeah.
did was, I think we played in our finals for Nations
Final
Cup
against
against
Egypt.
Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we lost. So now our biggest fear that if this chaos continue, we'll continue to get a repetition of loss, 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 loss. Now what I mean, I never tell people say me, I prefer me character over talent. I prefer me character over talent. Talent. I'm an employer. When I want hire person, and I hire person we over no work. I hire person we get character, no sufficient work. I don't know if not the same thing you work with football and if you bring result. Boss, I don't know whether any topic, anything we want to address them with regards to this fake food ministry wahala, or move on to our next topic.
Now we can move on to our next topic, because now so we can only sit and watch.
Mm-hmm.
They say when two giants they fight, now
Right.
grass will suffer. So
Yeah.
the giant in Africa food and minister who go suffer, now the team go suffer.
Okay.
You know,
Ma, see if any person don't put any question about the situation, and then okay, Carol Malik there around. Carol Malik, welcome. So do you want to say Feka Food does not have a budget on its own, or I don't get it? Even Samuel Eto'o don't talk him. Almost every other person don't talk him. For the past how many years, our federation don't dey go through chaos. Like he talk, he be the do it best, he be the try it best. Suitable one commodity leave about $6 million for coffers, according to my brother talk. But guess what? The people that they come for them, most of them be there, people that they know be permanent. Most of them be there, I think, a transitional government, era
yeah,
normalization committee, or this or that. And when you bring people like that coming from the corrupt place will come from, what you expect? They'll just sign checks and sign whatever for just share money with their friends and their family members, knowing they will come back for their own pocket. So now wait till I don't go through all this time then before the Sedu man came. When the Sedu man be, I think the first person way if they officially voted in for be president. So all these years then Fekafu never get money. He come in the struggle for do his own best. He told on kind of struggle for do his own best. So yeah, right now we're not even sure say Fekafu get that money. And from waiting my brother don't always talk for year. It took come in even kind of like worsening the situation. We had a coach. We who had a contract with us, and they decided to end the contract. We means we're going to pay that man, I think billions, if I don't make mistake.
I
You
think we have to
understand?
pay him about somewhere a little bit about, and I'm not sure, $2 million. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the number.
$2 million. When I feel imagine how much be $2 million for France CFA. And then you wake up send list again for ministry. Say made a higher coaches away, the figure the amount a day in the billions and all of that. I don't know if it will be one to give that kind of figures and so may ministry abandon them for you. So may go ahead hire a coach, but ministry to say no. Go ahead, do a thing. So for answer your question, yes, Fika Food they go through very difficult moments financially. Come on a country where you no get law. If Minister of Youth and Sports don't decide, Fika Food no fit do anything. No, Fika Food fit do something. Fika Food fit do something. Now the reason that way, so yeah, they will be suspend we right
Oh
boss.
yeah, oh yeah. Even
So
for
yeah, they
Ian
will be
Mohammed, the time.
so yeah, they will be suspend we get for. I don't know. You want to throw some small light on that?
Yeah, I mean there are laws where if the government breaches, then Food can actually report them to FIFA.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened under Ian Mohammed. Ian Mohammed was able to win the process, but guess
Mm-hmm.
what? As soon as he won the next election,
He was arrested.
the brother with story about Cotton Sport and
No, it
15
was
years,
not even Cotton Sport. It was Sue the
Cotton,
Cotton.
so the Cotton, I'm sorry, and
Yeah.
15 years after that, he's still in jail.
Yeah. So, bro, that's the kind of now the kind of country that for we for just don't we talk say Fekafu never do anything. No, it wrong. Fekafu will do something, but at the end of the day, because you stay for that country, you get family for that country, you don't do things for that country, you don't manage some certain things for that country, they get away, they always get back at you. So now for day way Fekafu, whoever they manage Fekafu, the powers they be limited. All we're asking for them is to just be honest. If you don't give some man some responsibility, leave a main manager.
Then let me ask you one question also, right?
Yeah, boss.
Think about this. In 2014, 2015, who was the interim? It was the late Joseph Owana, right?
Yes.
He was the one who signed this agreement with the government. Why do you
Yeah.
think he signed such an agreement, giving the government more powers over Food?
I don't get a question.
Okay, this you know the agreement we have been talking about of
Yes.
2014, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
It was signed when Joseph Owana was interim
Yeah.
at Food
Yeah.
during the transition.
Yeah.
So my question is now, why do you think that Joseph Owana, who
Bro.
is pro-government,
Joseph and Amawi be come over the other side for Kahele for this side. No.
exactly?
He don't
So
be minister. He don't be minister of sports. If I don't make mistake.
he's
Before.
been minister, yeah. So
Yeah.
of health and all that. So why do you think that he will give more powers to the government and
Yeah.
take powers from the Food when it comes to hiring coaches?
Yeah. And I think he actually come now. No be right after year.
He came twice. They had called him
Yeah.
twice. He has taken that position twice.
Twice.
Yeah, he has taken that position twice.
Damn. That our country. Ito was at the president last night. Oh, presidency. I think the both parties need to sit down and handle the problem because FIFA and CAF will always choose the FIFA foot nominee, but there is going to be consequences. Yeah, NS Lacosta, he say it will be there for presidency. I don't know about that. I don't know if you know about that. If Natina way it happen, fine. But me, I really feel like Ito is not supposed to be going to the presidency. Ito is supposed to go to the minister and look for way they fit sort this out in a very friendly way. So man, any man they go, he get wait way one time, and then we all move together, move forward as a community. Boss, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, yeah, but that's the norm, right? But we know where the powers is coming from. We have spoken about this, right? We know A2D. Even in his videos, A2 says A2D. That's where the powers is coming from.
But my thing is, when you go to a 2D, right? Just like if you do time where if one Rigobert song, now a 2D give Rigobert song, even though the
Yep.
minister sign them. But me, I just feel like every time he does that, you actually spit on the minister face. Where it make the man to now go shit on. So you know what? The one don't fail. More look for different means way we use and beat the picking. So the fight they continue. But if you go negotiate with the minister, he get way to a one time, you get way to a one time, it could be a smooth ride for you for move on.
Yeah, but Sako, it's not that easy, also, right? Because these people are people with big egos. Believe me, these old men are not easy. We might just sit there and talk as it's quite easy, but I understand. It's but what try to just say is that H2 should not fall in their game, right? He went right on Franz Venkat to say that he doesn't have a good working relationship with the minister. You're despising your boss. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Sometimes you should play smart. You should do things with a little bit of charisma when it comes to as an administrator. That's what you should be able to do.
Boss, EPL title race. How you follow him?
Man, the title race is hard. It's hard. I believe Manchester City are still my favorites, despite the fact that, well, if Liverpool wins tomorrow, then Manchester City will be 3 points below Liverpool. But I believe that Manchester City will not lose a game. There are about 9 games remaining. 8 games, yeah. I think Manchester City will not lose a game. But if you see the way all the three teams, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Manchester City, have been playing, they have been using lots of players also from the bench, like subs and all that. So it's quite interesting. It's gonna go to the end. It's gonna go to the wire.
What did happen with Manchester United?
I think Manchester United has a problem. Ten Hag, he's trying to play the type of football that he played at Ajax. He's opening up a lot of space. They have a problem in the midfield, ball retention. They are not able to retain the ball, and then they are giving away. They have the highest shot on target shots against them. So they are giving away. So there's a lot of space. They are not working as a team to close down and to shut down shots. So that's what's actually happening with Manchester United. Then they also have some players that I think are not giving their all, just because I think they are overrated.
Chelsea. Once these guys set that club, they don't want it down. Like I just feel like, and then I start to ask myself like, wait, is there a football team not only about player them about money, but then who also they at the head? It matter. What do you think?
Yeah, even when Roman Abramovich was there, he was a football guy, was a football head. He had lots of people in the back office who knew the type of players to buy. Then the American guy comes in and just throws money at players. Although the players are talented, the squad they have is very young. They have the second youngest team in the EPL. The first youngest team is Burnley, second Chelsea, third Arsenal. But now, if you look at Arsenal and Chelsea, you look at the way Arsenal built their team. It's Edu, their sporting director, who goes ahead. He has a relationship with Mikel Arteta, and they spot the players that will play and survive in Mikel Arteta's system. That's what Chelsea is not doing. That's what Chelsea is lacking. And 2-3 years ago, Chelsea bought about 12 players in the January transfer market. You don't do that. I think that helped destabilize the team. So that's the problem Chelsea is actually facing. And then their coach right now, Mauricio Pochettino, it's in his first year. So he's still learning the team. He's still trying to stabilize the team. But in years to come, Chelsea can be a very, very good team. They have some good players.
Why be say when season start and even like 10, 15, 10 days to the end of the season, all man they see feel like Arsenal. But then when it gets closer to like, oh my, just be like, massa. I watched some interview where they asked by then Arsenal be actually the top with I think 9 points difference, and then they asked Mourinho say who go top a league. He said probably Manchester City. They say I will visit your touch and say now the way we take and laugh.
Yeah, I think last year, right? It was legit. I think that interview was last year. But last year, when you look at how you looked at Arsenal, you looked at their bench. Even me, I said that Arsenal would not win that league. Although a lot of their fans were like excited and all that, I said they would not league. But if you look at Arsenal right now, they have the best attack. They
Mm-hmm.
have the best defense. Midfield, they are competitive in the midfield. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
when you put all that together, I think Arsenal, pound for pound, is the best team in the EPL right now, as we speak, regardless of who is on top of the table or
Mm-hmm.
who is in second, who is in third. When I watch Arsenal play, they have beaten Liverpool, Manchester City, and but Manchester City has not beaten any team in the top five this season.
Andre Onana, for me, he did for a best form. Not only the form, character wise. I just like the way the guy don't decide. You know what? My own for here now was top shots. As he come, he stop him. As he come, he stop him. Encourage the guys him in. I don't start see that leader in him way. Maybe so other people they see him before now. But me, I don't really start see that leader in him. I think he even win player of the month for a club. What is your take on him right now?
Yeah, I've had that soft spot for Andre Onana. I followed him now for years. Since he went to Barca, he was in the junior. Of course, I was not watching those Barca games, but anytime I had an opportunity to watch him at the junior level of Barca, I will follow. He went to Ajax Amsterdam. Andre Onana in 2015, 2017 did not have an easy time. He had to work hard. And then he has as mentor Edwin van der Sar, who is a legend, a Dutch goalkeeper legend, Manchester United legend as well. So I
Mm-hmm.
think he's humbled himself everywhere he's gone. He did not have the gloves actually just given to him. He had to work hard. Even when he went to Manchester United, yes, he was their main goalkeeper, but still he was coming after De Gea, who was a legend in Manchester United, and then fans were against him. Then he made some mistakes also that put him in a very difficult position. But slowly,
Mm-hmm.
and with the confidence of his coach, we have seen how Onana has become like he was a goalkeeper, he was a player of the month for Manchester United.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so we have seen that slowly. So he's a very good goalkeeper, and I believe that he can only get better.
Um, so I talked about his leadership skill, and we actually slowly see until they like change of administration for Cameroon national team. By the way, now we know with this minister appointment and everything. Now we know who be denied for renew Robert Song a contract. so,
So may I ask you now? We did not renew him,
the minister.
but do you know in an interview in Frank Venskat, Samuel Eto'o said he was the one who denied to renew the contract
And
of
I
him.
know, I know. For me, I just feel like Etobi they do other thing them. Now for just show say I'm still the boss, I'm still the person making this decision. Have you bet you say a minister we don't already show sign say I know renew that contract. And then he told you go meet him and say, bro, anyhow we did that dossier no born. Man, they see what they do. Because that was one other reason this guy came out, the porte parole for Eto'o, and was insisting about the 2014-2015 presidential decree. Oh, don't forget, yeah, and a minister get for do this, but now we get for so they be like they be already know the work so they go on for vaccine. So the one just reiterate our public say, hey, now the situation this so minister say, man, I carry down nothing come over here. I go do it.
But you see also that instead of these people, right, working
Mhm.
together, they are here are trying to appeal to the fans. Everybody is talking to
Yep,
the fans. They're not
yep.
talking to themselves.
They're not
They are
talking to
talking to
each
the
other.
exactly.
Yep,
That's bad.
that is a bigger problem. They need to try to talk to each other. All man, they only struggle for one talk for higher authority and then to
Yep.
the fans.
Yep.
Higher authority and then to the fans. However, my question was supposed to be let's say they decide to nominate Onana captain for national team. Um, for you, you think it would be a good thing, or what do you think? Because at the end of the day, Oga and Guisa away, they don't put you for funds small small. They say a captain, but Onana actually did for that place where if we say Etobi deserve that hand ban for 2010 over Rigobert's song, and we get other people for team two, they play very well, but then we bang have Eto'o. at this point in time, I feel like now Onana go deserve him. What do you think?
Yeah, I think when you look at it, even if you leave, just let the coach come and decide who his captain is. I mean that's
Mm-hmm.
the best way. But if I had a word about it, when you look at Onana, okay, l'enfant du pays. You look at the others potential players that can be coached. You talked about Angisa. Angisa is a guy that's not very talkative. His body language, nothing on the field. Even
Mm-hmm.
you don't see that, but when you see Onana is basically shouting. Then
Mm-hmm.
who else can? I know. Yeah, the other day one of your friends said Nolo
No,
Tolo.
no, who told you?
But no, Tolo is not even a starter. If I play him in the
Yeah,
national team, I will not even start him. So for me, I don't think he can be a coach. Or maybe Mbuemo just came to the national team, so there's a lot he
yeah.
doesn't know about Cameroon football. So the natural captain for me would be Andre Onana because he has so much charisma and he can actually lead. But now, given the environment that we have already created ourselves,
Created.
you know, it will put if he becomes a captain and all that, then people. But again, that's football. Nothing comes easy. Nothing comes easy. If you want to be a legend and if you want to be a star, you have to play. Despite if people like you, they don't like you. That's part of their job. So for me, I'll have no problem if Onana is made a captain.
Malik they asked me say why Onana get for big captain. Malik might tell you like I talk. I tell already if I point am out. I don't know what I be listen. But for me, a performance this last minute them, this last time them for Manchester United, exceptional, exceptional. We all don't realize now say the problem no be Onana. Man, if you be goalkeeper where every day they kick the 100 ball over your pool, even if you try like high, you leave 10, and they go end up say they score you 10 goal. And there's other guy go there down the street where they need even kick up to 5 ball for a pool. But then he deliver and 3 enter. And then they'll say, no, this man in a 3 goal is the score. This man they score 10 goals. So this man with 10 goal na bad goalkeeper. No. When if you continue to look at that way, we got to be honest. Onana they do impossible best. They save the way they make them every now and then. I watch some popular Nigerian they way now Manchester United supporter the other day movie Mayo say movie where the Mayo game down. Nigerians and comedians.
Yeah,
He actually yeah,
yeah. You're making solid points. I'm just
yeah,
agreeing with you.
he actually analyzed them very well. He start by Onana don't stop at least two, like he don't get at least 200 shots for a goal. Whereas if you want to go look the other goalkeeper them, they never get up to 50, up to 70. So how you want actually compare some man way he don't get 200 shots for a goal, he don't stop 100, and then another man way he don't get a 50 for a goal, he don't stop now maybe 30. So I don't think it's fair. We were hard on Onana for no nothing. My worry about Onana being a character when he become for Manchester United, that he shout, he go shout. Now for you, he want galvanize them. He want hey, una walk. But most players, especially me, when I be the play, I don't like him. Me, I feel like encourage. Hey, Sako is not bad, and that was what I always do to my teammates. But we realize say he don't change completely from that person.
Yeah,
Onana now the only stop the shots, encourage the player them and like as you talked the other day, possibility they say go become captain for national for Manchester United. So me now in that light where I look, I'll be like, no, if he transfer that energy for national team, I want maybe captain. I will give one last thing. One of the persons that will notice him for Nations Cup. Now this young man Nathan, would I speaker thing way, the work I dance, I do all of that. The other day, I was just scrolling through social media and I saw a video for the Nation Cup. If I remember, fine, either that Gambia match,
yeah.
either Gambia match,
It was the
Unana
last
just say
match.
no play.
It was
Yeah,
it was a Gambia match, last group
now
match.
Unana holder, now he
Yeah,
hold up that speaker, now he there for front, in that small man, that he animate the group that he dance. Now, for the first time I look, I'm like, something there about the Unana will never know him. Something there about this guy, character will never know him. No man no go do him. No man where they play for national Manchester United with that big budget and everything, go do that kind of thing he do am. That way it feels if they play for national team, they will animate, but they will not do it that way. You understand? So I just feel like he
and
deserve more give
and
a chance.
and you know why I also say that, right? When you look at Onana, from the time he left Cameroon, went to Barcelona, through the Barcelona system. He went to Ajax Amsterdam. When he speaks and when he's in front of the camera,
Yeah.
look at his mannerism, the way he handles situations, the way he
Interview. Yeah.
articulates, the way he relates to others. You know, a lot of those players that were with him, I'm not saying anything bad of them.
Mm-hmm.
Put Abubakar, put all of those guys in front of the camera. They cannot express themselves.
Bro, that people
On-
they just explode.
Onana will do it in French and in English. For me, that's leadership. For me, that's when you see a guy who's smart and who is very, very calm. They also had the same opportunities as Onana, but Onana has taken in a step. He speaks. Go look at his interviews at Manchester United. Even the accent of the interviewer doesn't bother him. He speaks
Mm-hmm.
and controls. Yes, and that's how I want my captain to be able.
No, when it comes to media, Onana know how to manage media very well. He know how to manage even
Yeah,
when what's his name Obama become out do that interview. He talk about how he set up a meeting with Onana and Etofis, and then he talk say Onana be insist say for the meeting he want be for the na only he na Etofis. Now we don't know say no, this boy knows so much about media how
yeah,
to use them for his
exactly,
advantage.
exactly.
Um, more read comments more. Why should Onana be captain when Vincent Abubakar is still there? Why was Etofis giving the captain ban when Rigobert Song was still there? If you answer that question, then you
Yeah, I
understand. Say
think I
sometimes
can.
it be when administration don't change. Um, you are answer and boss.
Yeah, I think I can just give them a simple. What's his name? Abubakar is 33, 34. And when I
Yeah,
saw him played at the Nations Cup, for me, that was his last Nations Cup. In my
yeah.
opinion, in my
It should
opinion.
be his last Nation Cup.
Yes, because he doesn't have the legs. He doesn't have the legs anymore. And then if you see the age range of our national team went from 28 to 24, so it dropped. So now you have more younger people there.
Mm-hmm.
So the someone who's around who's been in the national team for a while and who plays like Onana at age 27, 28 is one of those that's actually closer to the age range of maybe 24, 20, and that can relate to these younger guys. So that's why Onana, in our opinion, should be the captain of the national team. It will be dependent on the coach, right? But that's why I think he should be.
Carol Malik still insist say mo no start that kind of conversation because Abubakar never retire.
Uh,
Rigobert Song will get clean example. Rigobert Song no be don't retire, but will be take armband for ye.
exactly.
Ugia, Ugia. I wanna not forget say the winning team for 2017. Abubakar was not even a starter. And he be
Yeah.
the key player for that team. You
As a
understand?
7 point was
Whereas
still on the
if
bench.
the 2010, where by 2017, now then began to be the pioneer and began to be the titular them. Right
And
after that, even for World Cup, he may be the starter. You
and even when
understand?
even when you see at his body language, he's not.
Yeah.
Football is something now that you have to appeal to the fans. You have to give press conferences. You have to talk. Abubakar is not. He's not comfortable in front of the cameras. I don't think he can actually sell our image better than a guy like Onana. I don't think so.
Robert Moore say Onana must not be captain to play better in the national team. We need to deny. The two of the try for talk for you and I say if they decide because at the end of the day, any the coach will go come. He know who will make a leader for a team. So my what thing is, what question now? What if he decides say, you know what, this guy is Manchester United, ma place more responsibility on his shoulder. So when next time they tell you the Camp of Nations Cup, he go tell Manchester United say, "Now I be captain, I will be for this first man." Rather than you put him for position where he feel like maybe if I go I no play, maybe if I maybe no need for me for even go or mark even go me late. I just feel like if you put more responsibility on his shoulder, he go make that same sacrifice with Etofis with the make him that will be the play for national team. That's what me I look him. So he no must be captain, yeah. But if he be captain, wait to be the possibilities. True Lion, I disagree with you. Onana has not proven anything to be captain for national team. Expressing yourself well is not a quality to be a captain. Etobi the express himself well, but he was never a good captain.
Now,
If
no go
Onana
ahead.
is given the captain ban, what become of Vincent Abubakar? Our team Abuja already answered that question. Our consultant already answered them. I hope we learn how team be disintegrate during 2010 FIFA 20 World Cup, because yeah, we don't talk about that already. And we never take that example for deny Onana captain ban. We cannot say because they begin a to captain ban for 2010, it because chaos. It means we're not going to give Onana captain ban. Remember, Etofisi on the gi captain ban na like few weeks before we go World Cup. I
Yeah,
think some few
and
days before World Cup. Before World
yes,
Cup.
when Paul Ogwen
Yeah.
came, Paul Ogwen made him captain, and
Yep.
yes, immediately made him captain. And the problem is that, you know, even back then I supported Eto'o, because when the coach makes someone captain, it's not for Rigobert Song to stand there and try and argue and fight. Okay, Paul Ogwen came, he made someone else captain. Move on. This is maybe ownership. It's not someone's ownership. And today we are just saying it's our opinion that we are giving
Mhm.
about Onana, that we think Onana can be a better captain. And of course, the captain sells the image of the team. So how do you sell
Very
the image of the team if you don't give interviews? It's through interviews and things like that you sell. Look at what Manchester United is doing with Onana. You know, Onana has gone there and all that, and he's doing a lot of projects, talking to the kids, building, they're interviewing him. They are selling
mhm.
the image of Manchester United through Onana because he's the
Onana.
most talked about player. So who
Yep.
is the most talked about player in the Cameroon national team? It's
Which
Onana.
Cameroon national team in Africa
In
already?
Africa, in the world, it's Onana. So that's who's gonna sell your image.
Yeah,
That's
I
money
think
football.
Malik say Rigobert's song came and sent Onana away. It was his choice. Yeah, we need deny saying a choice. So if another coach come now, he decides, say, what, you know what, moving forward, I see a good captain. Because if me, with the way to Onana they do it now, if me, I'm a big coach for that team, I'm making him the captain. I'm only telling a few things. I give you captain now because this is who I see in you. This is who I see in you. This is who I see in you. If you continue to produce that same result, you are my captain. More good will go. Um, it's funny. My last point before we jump into UCL, and then we'll round up the show. We're already there for 1 hour.
Yeah.
At the ever where you come here, at the ever want to take your time because I enjoy the way you present your facts and everything. Um, my last point about this Onana Palava, Rigobert's song. If we analyze which we play for World Cup and Nations Cup, he say it has to be done a Hemley. It has to be done a Hemley. But guess what? You actually kicked out Onana way. If they go hala and cool, they say una get into una Hemley, una playlist una so like hi waka hi match we are now you go ahead boss.
And you know the funniest thing? I bet you say one day when Rigobert Song she don't give interview about Onana, you will see and say Rigobert Song no be the and Onana no be get any problem. You will
Okay.
see and say the major problem be been Onana Yaneto. Because Rigobert Song no almost come out for sharp. If you see when the way that they embrace themselves when they meet up, go see for last African Nations Cup. Some pictures, some video, the way Rigobert Song meet up Onana, embrace Onana like tight. Just that body
Why
language.
why why they do it they win against Gambia?
Gambia,
It could
Onana
embrace
just
every
pass.
person. It reach for Nana. They just touch now. What are they touch now? They are
They no
shirt
big
on the
touch.
way to you.
Yeah, he want
And
to
I
Onana,
believe,
Onana just pass.
yeah, I believe what you talk because it explains why Onana be fit confidently tell people so now no worry. Call go come out from some side to coach. You know, those go come out from some side to the president. If he be get problem now, will coach. If you say the call go now for president, and then president go tell coach. But he said the call go come over on side go now for coach directly, and I go play, bro. This whole thing is just crazy. UCL, what be your take on Champions League?
Yeah, the Champions League is this week, and I still believe Arsenal is gonna upset Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich just lost yet another game today.
Mm-hmm,
They lost 3-2. But the way Bayern Munich has been playing, they are not a team that's full of confidence. Although they're still a dangerous team, they still
mm-hmm,
go into this game as favorite. But I think Arsenal can upset Bayern Munich over the game of two legs. However,
mm-hmm.
If Arsenal wants to upset Bayern Munich, they must beat Bayern Munich in at the Emirates. So that's for that encounter. Then you
Mm-hmm.
also have the encounter Manchester City against Real Madrid. That's going to be an interesting one because Manchester City is actually trying to get. If you realize, Manchester City ever since they lost Gundogan and Mahrez,
Mm-hmm.
they are not the same team. They are not the same team because they don't use the wings. They are not as effective in the wings and in the midfield anymore. So that's why you see a player like what's his name, Bernardo Silva. He falls a lot into the midfield. Even Foden, they fall a lot in the midfield. But before they had Gundogan who could handle that midfield. But when you play a guy like Kovacic in the midfield along Rodri, it's not the same Manchester City team. But
Mm-hmm.
I still keep my what I said that Manchester City after 2 games will go through. But this game now that they play, because the away game, the first game is at Real Madrid, that will be
Mm-hmm.
key. Should Real Madrid look to go through, they have to carry an advantage from that leg. Now, talking about Borussia Dortmund versus they play Atletico Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
Borussia Dortmund Atletico Madrid. That's also one that I think Atletico Madrid just has an advantage. Although Borussia Dortmund has been playing well in the Champions League, I think Atletico Madrid has an advantage because their coach is at Simeone. He's at a level where right now, if he loses against a Borussia Dortmund team, that might be his last year with Atletico Madrid because he spent so much money in that team, and his critics are saying that maybe it's time to move ahead to another one, to another coach. Then Barcelona versus Paris Saint-Germain. This is another tie that, although as a Barcelona fan, I'm a Barcelona fan, I believe Paris Saint-Germain has what it takes to take out Barcelona. However,
Mm-hmm.
we have seen Barcelona trying to give now a U-turn. Xavi is parting with Barcelona at the end of the season, but it seems as if they want to make him now stay. So I don't know how far that is true. I don't know if that might galvanize the team to play better, but Paris Saint-Germain for me has an advantage just because of a player like Mbappe in their squad.
Man, I wish them the best though. Me, I not get me no club where I dey support them. I dey usually support our players them. And for now, I guess I like that Kevin De Bruyne guy. I think Mbappe and I'm a player for now. Man, Haaland, man, the guy. I don't see the score goes in, but it never really, I never really, she don't feel like wow, this is a wonderful kid. But Mbappe for me, exceptional. I just wish he continue for uh, not only show skills, but like as in talent, football, but leadership skill also, play with people. I actually did not like the way he handled the him, Neymar, and the Messi situation in Paris. I feel like it don't for me, I feel like you don't put some black cloud around he head we when he go for Spain, we go come on inside France because now France made that they cover it, they protect it, they will play fine, they'll make excuses and all of that. When he go for Real Madrid as with the SA one go, now for those who will know if Mbappe na actually world class player or not. Boss, anything they'll go for talk, I will never talk.
Yeah, true about I feel true like more about Mbappe. True that you say which you talk because if you look like a player like Hazard, right? Hazard,
Yeah.
he was the king in Chelsea. He went to Spain, and an injury that was it. He lost his love for football, but very very talented player. But then
Mm-hmm.
we saw that happen. What happened? Of course, Mbappe is world class, no doubt. One of the best strikers in the world right now, no doubt. But you have talked something about his leadership, and I also see a problem with that leadership. If he goes to Real Madrid has some world class players now. I'm talking
I'm
about
telling you.
The British guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but of course you cannot compare him to Mbappe because we know what Mbappe has done, right? At World Cup, two
Yeah.
World Cup, we know what Mbappe has done. But
But if you go there and disrespect them, it could be a
exactly,
problem.
exactly. You go into Real Madrid, you see Bellingham, Vinicius. Then now you have to insert yourself. You have to prove because football fans is like, what have you done for me
Done.
lately? It's
Yeah.
not what you did in PSG.
Yeah.
What have you done for me lately? Because they have
Yeah.
seen all players. They have seen the Cristiano Ronaldos. So Mbappe will not come there and intimidate them. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? They have seen the Cristiano Ronaldo. Mbappe will not come there and intimidate them. So it's gonna be very interesting. I'm a Barca fan. I want to see that happen because I know that it's not about the. We have seen the Galactico before in the days
Mhm.
of David Beckham, but the Samuel Eto'os in the Barca time were able to defeat them and win trophies ahead of them. So I'm not intimidated by Mbappe going to pay to Real Madrid.
Exactly.
It might just help unsettle the team because of his character.
Man, that Galactico time be worry, eh?
Oh yeah, but that's what Barca did to them.
Yeah, humiliated them in many
Yeah,
occasions.
exactly. Barca messed them up. So
Yeah,
I'm just waiting to see Mbappe go to Real Madrid, and
that
then
that
he
that
does
Gala,
all of this. Yeah, go ahead.
that Galactico season, you see, they get free kick against some team. They get free kick against Madrid. You see Zidane stand for you see Figo, you see Ronaldo, you see Beckham, you see
Exactly.
you
Then
see
then
the
you
guy,
see,
the caliber of player they stand.
then you see Roberto Carlos.
Yeah, you see Roberto. Damn. Man, this was a fine conversation. I hope so. We'll do this again same time, and next week we'll try to be on time. I'll try to regulate my program for way. If we say we start for two, more start for two. So maybe what people know so they come here for two. We'll kill our 1 hour, our 45 minutes or 1 hour just talking about football. If we don't talk something for you, maybe like or you get any final words before I conclude?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm good. It's
Yeah.
all you.
So if we don't talk anything for you, will not be like twist that one through and for bush. We all just get our opinions. We'll just try to set up a place where we can have these conversations and then we'll go watch our game. And then after the games, we'll come back, we'll have other conversations and see how we take from these conversations and build our community. For me, it was a fine show. It was a fine show. Last time was show our video maybe get the visibility we need and because I use some images every day. So even when we see there for live, they will already flag the video. Now the reason I want to say I never really put images in for year, but I think say even the conversation without those images, it still make a
Yep.
lot of sense.
Yep.
It still make a lot of sense. Maybe next time we'll make sure so we'll start on time. So like for by the might say well don't do a 1 hour. The 15 minute will do an hour figure and for audience for join in, make their small contributions. That is
Exactly.
more to read out time for today. Guys, wanna enjoy on our weekend. And if any other topics you wanna want more discuss and more address some, wanna always remember for send either for me or for my boss. Woo, this was a beautiful one. Now I'll be honest with you now. I have so much respect for True Lion opinions. Now one of that person is a way me and I this we usually for beginning disagree on so many things. But Enoch go always hesitate for like, okay, this is how I feel, this is how I feel. And if he ever tell me, say, no, Sako, take your time. Just give some few days, just give some few months and see what. And you actually realize, say, you will always be like, oh, no, it be talk true, it be really like me and it be the sound like ye. Like I said, also another thing about him that I have respect for, na honesty. He go talk and the way he did, he go make sure say if he need be talk, if he be seen wrongly before, he go actually tell you say no, I think I be wrong that time, but this time I think I'm correct. Another thing about him also, now the fact say he need to twist the truth because he dey support the person or he dey support that person. No, the truth now the truth. If you talk about Onana, it will tell you what you think about Onana. If you talk about Rigo song, it will tell you what you think. And that is what we just want to have. We just want to have honest conversations with honest people and just build an honest environment for we all for share our ideas about football, learn anything or two from one another, and then grow as a community. Now the small tool that I've got for today, like I said, if we said anything that you do not like, with beguna na beguna, una twist and chew am for bush. But anything we will talk una like am with the beg una take another one, una run with them. We'll see you next week Saturday. The segment na 90 in 5 on Toridey with our boss True Lion. Okay. More liver so. Oof. Now number 3 show that I do am crazy, crazy, crazy hungry.